Hi everybody and welcome to the LinkedIn Back to Basics training. This is a plant awareness course made specifically for site management. So what is the aim of this training? A very important factor is understanding that plant is the lifeblood of any earth-moving business. Without the yellow equipment to help us be productive, there's absolutely no chance we'd be able to earn the revenues or complete the projects that we have to do. We also need to understand where the ownership of the plant lies. A lot of people believe that because financially the business is run by directors and the board, that is where the ownership lies. In fact, if you think about it, they may be making the financial decisions, but who is making the decisions about the day-to-day operation of that plant? Generally speaking, this is the site operational people, and the site operational management in particular. These are the people who run the machines, earn their revenue from the machines on a day-to-day basis. And therefore, logically, the ownership of the plant actually resides in the employees that are using it day to day. Let's get down to some specifics. The first aspect that we'd like you to learn about in this course is how to improve production. The second thing is to ensure that we maintain the plant, which goes on to the third point, which is about avoiding unnecessary downtime. Everyone knows that downtime is the enemy of a productive site. Fourthly, we want to improve the bottom line. This can be the bottom line of the project, but accumulated to the bottom line of the business. And finally, we want to drive to reduce overall costs. The other important thing to know is what you're going to learn through this course. A couple of the main points are, first of all, how to maintain and respect the plant. Even though it goes without saying, a piece of plant is something that you need to take good care of. So through this course, we'll give you some ideas of how to do that. Of course, why the plant should be taken care of is a motivator to help people understand the value of that plant and what it does for them and their day-to-day life. We'd also like to help you to understand how to run a productive and efficient job site. I'll also be sharing with you something that we call rules of thumb, which talks about how to apply machines correctly to the specific job you want them to do. And lastly, a very important point is how to estimate production on the job. There's no point in only learning what you've produced at the end of the day. The best way is to be proactive and be able to estimate where the production is going early on in the day so you can start to take measures to improve it. So what is plant worth in any organization? Any company involved in moving earth will have a whole fleet of equipment, which could include articulated trucks, dump trucks, excavators, dozers, wheel loaders, etc. Depending on the size of the business and exactly what they do with these machines, will tell you how many units they have, as well as what level of production they can achieve. What a lot of people don't realize, especially in the operational environment, is that this is generally the largest asset in monetary value of this business that they're working in. So if you look at the total number of units in a fleet and then start to figure out the new replacement value, some people are surprised to learn that the value goes into the millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars in value. This way outweighs all other asset classes in a business of this nature. To some people, what I've just described might sound completely logical, but for others, it can be quite difficult to understand. Let's take a look at a graph of value and the asset allocation of any given business. We can all identify with the costs of things like computers, office furniture, or sometimes even buildings and site offices. These are things that we may have had experience with in our own lives. Buying a computer for yourself or somebody in your family can seem like a relatively expensive exercise. Now take all of the computers in your current organization, as well as the office furniture and the site offices, and that won't amount to the amount of money that has been invested in the plant and equipment in the organization. With a better understanding of the value of all the plant assets in a business, let's take a quick look at the modules that you'll be going through in this training. Module 1 is called Plant Revenue and Costs. This is a little bit more detail into what makes up the value of the machines in your organization. how they are purchased, how they are operated, and where all the costs go that you may or may not pay for in your plant rate. We also talk about the residual value and depreciation of the assets, but in a way that makes sense and is easy to understand. Module 2 is about equipment application. Here we talk about the capabilities and limitations of the machines that you use every day. We also go into a little bit of detail on how this impacts the plant cost and what you can do in the production environment. Module 3 then gets into operational guidelines. We start by talking about bad practice, good practice, and best practice to get yourself into a better situation for production efficiency. The last 3 modules give you further advice on practical things that you can apply on site. Module 4 is about maintenance and repairs. This talks about good maintenance practices and how we can ensure better machine value for the equipment on our sites. Module 5 is about site setup. Here we talk in some detail about how a site should be properly set up, from the load area through the hall and all the way through to the dump site, for maximum productivity and best practice. It has a major impact on production, costs, and overall machine health. The final module is about partnership. This is where we speak a little bit in detail about how teams can work together for best company results. In summary then, the course that you're about to take on gives you a view on plant within the production environment that few people get, especially when starting out. But even for those who've had experience of site before, but who may have fallen into some traps and bad habits along the way. We want to help you understand how to correctly apply the equipment so that you can not only be more productive, but so that you can save money for your site, your division, and your organization. This is your best chance to learn more about the equipment and assets that the company has invested in, so that those investments can bring more to your bottom line, improving your chances for success and your opportunity to go further and go higher in your organization.